Like most of us do, I really love the mountains and the canyons. It's always great to go for a drive with the beautiful scenery. However, at the same time, my favorite things are to hike, hunt, fish, ride ATVs and dirt bikes, and of course, enjoy my coffee. But most important, it's just being in the great outdoors. Even though most of my experiences go hand in hand with the movie The Great Outdoors, one thing is for certain, nothing beats it in my opinion. Well, we're back at it, and guess what? I didn't get enough wood, so I'm back at the sawmill. There we go. I got some extras this time, just to make sure, and these are for the posts I didn't get for the lean-to. But I think I have everything this time, or at least I better. Anyway, we're gonna hit the road and get back home. In the future, I will try to share some more of my stories with you. I do remember a time where I was helping out a dealership delivering vehicles, and I got stuck in the middle of a really bad storm going through a canyon that caused the trailer to whip back and forth, throwing the truck into a pile of snow on the side of the road, which luckily didn't do any damage, only broke a strap or two, causing the truck to slide forward and off the side of the trailer a little bit. However, everything remained intact, and again, nothing was damaged. That was a wild ride. We're back again, and we're going to go ahead and continue on with the board and batten. So I'll go ahead and get this part started. We'll move around if we have time today. If not, we'll do some more tomorrow for sure. So yeah, I think that's it. So let's get to it. All right, I just wanted to show you, you can probably see it in the camera, it's hard to tell on the back of this, but some of these gaps are wider and narrower because of where the stud location lands to hit those on the nails. And you can see, like, there's a stud there, and then the next one comes over clear over here on the edge. Well, this one completely misses one. You can see I did the screws for now, but I'm going to come back through and, like I told you in the last video, put a 2x4 behind it so that I can go through and nail it, and I'm doing it about every 16 inches, pretty close. And then you can see where this one ends up here, and nothing on that space, so therefore same here. It just shows you that I'm trying to free float these as much as possible, even though, like I said, the batten pieces will hold those, but they're not going to be as secure and really lock them down like the other nails will. But anyway, those gaps are because you can see this one here, it's got a really bad bow in it. And then to try and end up where I can at least get one, you know, probably an inch and a half of that board to be nailed to the 2x4 versus like this one again where it has nothing. So that's why the spacing and everything is the way it is. It's not perfect, but It looks amazing, and you would never know it aside from being the person that actually did the work. Some of these are a little bit thicker than the rest, and that piece on the bottom for the trim is that way. So I'm trying to match some of them up in better areas so they fit better and everything looks as flush as you can get it. So also the color, you know, I'm trying to kind of coordinate so I don't have too many darker colors with all the rest and the lighter colors together. And these first few, when we did the dip tank and we were dipping them, like I said, I think I mentioned it in one of the other videos, that some of them really didn't seem to draw in as much color until we started brushing them, which we did later after we had got started, and noticed some of them were, you know, not pulling in that water and stain as much. Maybe because, I don't know, there's a few different reasons and things. I think if we could have put them in that dip tank and let them sit for a little bit longer. There was no instructions as far as time, but we were trying to do it and keep the whole process moving fairly quickly. But once we got the brush and the broom and hit them, that's what we noticed really worked well. So anyway, that's another thing I'm trying to do, not only the thickness of the fresh milled rough cut lumber, but also with the color coordinating of the stain with the darks and the lights, and making everything tie in together and look good. Okay, really quick, because my camera's about to die again, imagine that. You might notice me cutting both ends. The reason for that is, number one, there's some splits, and two, I'm trying to keep all the character and knots in each board that I can, just to give it that much more for the character and look and everything. So that's why I'm doing that. I try to pick each one of them out, color, you know, as far as what the stain did, and then, you know, the splits, the knots and everything, the grain. So anyway, So you get an idea of what we got going here. You can see these lighter colored ones, a couple of them in different spots. Those are the ones that we first started with. Bottom of the pile I finally got to, that I need to recoat with some of that wood treatment. So some of the other sides are better, different, but it all depended on, like I said, the grains, the knots and everything, the character of the wood itself and which direction I would face it, and how everything went that way. You know, some of these really big knots like this, and just the grains that really pop through is what I'm looking for. So anyway, that is pretty much everything. I was going to show you this. I ran out of all the 4-inch. I have some 16-foot, but I didn't want to cut them because I had to get more anyway today, and until I make sure I have enough for everything. But I had this little spot, I'll show you, right here. This one was cut. Camera's almost dead. It got hot again, but real quick, anyway, I was showing you that so that I could salvage that whole piece where I'm almost out and near that corner. So I went ahead and put that in there, and like I said, you wouldn't see it unless you were right up close or looking for it. The other issue I had is this one right here. You can see the split in. It was bowed the other direction, but this was the best side of the grains and the wood, and so I made a choice to, you know, flip it so that bow was with the back against the wall. And I thought that might happen, but I was kind of hoping I could get enough out of it, but it didn't. And anyway, but I'm leaving it. It's clear up underneath this big eave anyway, so I'll just, when I touch up everything else, I'll come back through with a brush and make sure I get in there with the wood treatment and everything. But I think that is it for this one. I'm trying to think. I think all I got left, this will be, again, probably 3 videos, maybe more, but I got the front to finish. But there's this side, the back. I got to finish that piece by the door, but I had to get some longer ones. And then that whole side there is done, except for up at the top. I'm gonna finish that. I haven't finished around that electrical box yet because I'm trying to decide what I want to do for sure. But the door's done, so you get an idea of that. So aside from that, that's it on this project until the next one. So thanks again for watching. God bless.